Hello guys, before this video starts, I just wanted to apologize. I know this took, oh my gosh, this is not comfortable. I know this took forever. I have no good reason. I didn't want to edit. And even recording takes a while, I just haven't been having as much fun on gaming. Like, on Pillow Production, I've been uploading a ton, like, every week, because I've been having a lot more fun over there. So I'm sorry about that, but if I'm not having fun, I don't want to force myself too much. Like, sometimes you gotta be like, okay, we gotta do this. But if I'm just having no fun at all, it's just like a slugfest, I really don't want to do it. So, sorry about that. Go watch Pillow Productions, though. And other than that, sorry, and enjoy the video. Alright guys, to start up the list, at number 10 we have Psychonauts and the Rhombus of Ruin. Now what this is a VR game of the Psychonauts series, if you've heard of that. So you play this guy, you go into people's brains. The first and the second are 3D platforms. This one is not. It's a VR, and it's not nearly as good as the other two, but it's still like a cool game. It has a good story. It looks really cool. It has a lot of problems for a VR game because it was one of the first VR games. But overall, it's still a cool game. Like, there's cool puzzles and stuff. It's not my favorite. It's only like an hour and a half long or something. But if you like the Psychonauts series and think of this one takes place in between 1 and 2. So I would recommend if you have a VR and you like the Psychonauts series, but other than that, it's not too special. Alright, at number 1 we have Luigi's Mansion, the original, the first one. Now, I have played the other 2 games in this series before this one. The second one, I don't know why. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, when I think nostalgia, it is the number 1 game I think of. I don't know why that specific game stuck with me so much, but it did. This one is a great game. It's really short. Not like Rhombus of Ruin short, but like 6 hours, so not too short, but definitely not super meaty or anything. One cool thing it has that 2 and 3 don't is in each room, you don't just like find a ghost. You gotta like figure out how to summon the ghost, and then also find a unique way to defeat the ghost. So that's a cool feature. I'm glad it's in the first one, but I'm glad they changed it in 2 and 3. Because, like, it's a cool thing to experience once, but, like, you run out of ideas, Because there's only a limited number of things they can do with a backpack, and you have, like, 3 power-ups, but that's it. So it's cool throughout one game, but I'm glad they didn't continue in 2 and 3. So, good game. Not as good in 2 and 3, not as open, not as much to do, but still a good game. Alright, this is where I'm starting to get in trouble. At number 8, okay, I played a lot of very, very good games this year, okay? Like, heavy hitters, famous games, stuff like that. So at number 8 is Portal, the first one. I know. One of the most famous games ever at number 8. 8 on a list. Ridiculous. Okay, so let me just talk about the game. So, I generally hate puzzle games. Like, The Witness, a very famous puzzle game, I played it for like 10 minutes and got bored, and I just couldn't play it anymore. This game was an exception. I fell in love with it. It was a very cool game. You probably know about this game. It's very famous. You put down a portal and another portal, and you go through one that leads to the other. Super sick concept. I love it. The reason as for why it's so low, I liked every other game more. Like, this is to the point where I really liked each game. Like, it's hard to say negative stuff about it, or the good, like, way outweighs the bad. What's some bad? It's not too long game. I'd say it's pretty good length. Like, it's like 10 hours. I say that's good. It's a good length. I was gonna say there's not as many ideas, but there really is. Like, you think there's not as many ideas, but they are so creative. Like, oh my gosh. I just think the reason not so high is because there's not, like, it's not, like, super open. It's not, it's playing portals, which is a cool concept, but you do it over and over and over, and it's still fun by the end, but it's just not as fun, So, really good game. Please don't rage in the comments about this, and, If you're mad about this one, it's only going to get downhill from here. At number 7 is a game that might not be considered a game, Deltarune Chapter 2. Okay, I played Undertale 2 years ago, and it was so good. It was one of the best games I've ever played. Easily on my top 10 games for life. I played Deltarune after, and it was nowhere near Undertale. Like, I got all 3 major endings in Undertale. Deltarune, I just played it once, and I'm like, meh. Like, it was alright, but it wasn't even close to Undertale. Like, you can't spare people, really. Like, you can, but it didn't have as many benefits. Like, there wasn't as much humor. There was some humor, but not nearly as much as Undertale. So, when Deltarune 2 came out, I was excited, but I was like, it's Deltarune, Undertale. But this one is so much better than Chapter 1. First of all, sparing people has a way bigger effect. Not like in Undertale. It's not the same. But, like, there's benefits to killing and benefits to sparing. Which is really cool. Like, in Undertale, there's really no benefit to sparing unless you spare every single person. But in this game, like, if you spare, like, 5 of an enemy, you recruit them, and they give you extra in battle. So that's really cool. And if you kill them, then you, like, get stronger and stuff. So that's a really cool thing. And also the humor. There is as much humor in Undertale as there in this game. I'm saying. And it lands every time, just like in Undertale. I am so happy it is getting back to that. It is so much better than Chapter 1, okay? I'm really looking forward to Chapter 3. It's number 7 because it's like 1/7 of a game. We don't know exactly how long it's gonna be, but like it's at least 7, we know. So it's like 1/7 of a game. But even for like 1/7 of a game, it's like 5.5 hours or something to beat. So it's good length for 1/7 of a game. It is worrying me how long these chapters take, though. Like, how long did Chapter 1 come out? Like, 3 years before, 2.5 or something? I don't know. It's worrying, but I guess we'll just have to see. Cool game, though. Really. Okay. Mario is my favorite franchise ever, okay? It's been with me for life. It's still with me. I still love it. Like, the fact that a Mario game, a 3D Mario game even, is set 6th on the list is just ridiculous. But it's Super Mario Sunshine. I had heard negative things about this game before I played it, and I didn't know why. It looked cool, but I played this in the 3D All-Stars collection, just so you guys know. It's not like the original anything. It is such a flawed Mario game, okay? It's still a Mario game, so it's still good, but like for a Mario game, this is just, oh my gosh. Okay, let me just start. So, I'm weird. When I think I've like cheated a game in the wrong way, and it's like my first run through, I feel bad and I try to go back and do it normally. There was so many times I felt like that. Because if you know what you're doing, you know, you can like backflip, jump off the wall, flood to go really far. Like, you can cheese so many parts of this game. And just like skip whole sections, like, if you're skilled enough. And I realized how to do that really quick. And I didn't want to skip stuff, but I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, stuff like that. And I think this is the first Mario game I didn't 100%. I got like every star in every world, but I did not even bother with the blue coins, okay? You have to get every single blue coin to get all 120 stars. And one time, I'm not kidding, I accidentally backflipped over a fountain and got a blue coin. So they are impossible to find without a guide. And I just don't want to use a guide to find every blue coin. There's like 300 of them. And it's going to be ridiculously hard and long. So I got all the main ones. I don't even think I got all the secret stars. I was just like, I want to move on. But it's still a fun game, you know. Flood, it makes Mario unique in that way. It's not quite on platforming. I honestly like platforming better, but it's still a unique spin, you know. It's cool. Good game, but definitely flaws. There's also a lot of bugs in this game, like silly bugs that a big first-party game should not have, but Mario Sunshine, everyone. Alright, guys, top 5. Here we go. Number 5, Psychonauts. So we already talked about Rhombus. This is the original Psychonauts. That is a 3D platform. Now, I love I love 3D platformers. They're probably my favorite genre of game. This one is from like 2007 or something, and it's an old game. Like not that old, obviously, but you can tell there's some things about it today that just like seem off. Like it looks really weird. Like the animation style is very weird. Like it's not even necessarily bad. It's just like it's so strange. Like it looks bad, but it's not bad. I don't know how to explain it. You'll have to play the game. But like it's a really fun game. Just to play, it is so fun. It has this unique thing to the story where you travel into people's minds and you help them sort out problems in there. So you like see things like that from their past, from their point of view, stuff like that, and it's really cool. And then you like go in there and help them fix problems, and it helps their lives. I love that concept. It's so cool. And you also have like all these power-ups you can use, and you can switch them, and it's just a great game. You should play it. I know it's kind of hard to get into at first because like it looks it's not even necessarily looks like the gameplay, like some things are just wonky, you know, but it's worth getting into, trust me. All right, time for me to get in trouble again. Number 4, Portal 2, the #1 ranking game of Steam, some people's favorite game ever. Number 4 on a list for 1 year? Come on! How could you do this, man? Okay. Like I said earlier, I've never been a huge fan of puzzle games. This one astounded me, though. Okay? For a puzzle game, this is so good. It expands so much on the original. It has a much richer, deeper story. Really good story, too. Like, it's not just like it has a story. You're laying 2 portals down. Like, already a cool concept. And then add an amazing story to it. Boom! Huge. And one thing that bumps it up even higher, the co-op mode. The co-op campaign is just as good, if not even better than the original. I played it with my good buddy Yum Hamburgers. Go subscribe to him. It's just great. Like, it's such a cool game. It's so creative. Like, it's still not repetitive. Even after like 10 more hours worth, after 10 hours already of the game, they still find ways to make 2 portals so creative and clever and like still stump you sometimes. Like I don't know how they do it. It's insane. Like it's so cool. It's a great game. Go play it. As for why it's only 4th, like I said, never been a huge fan of puzzle games. These were the first Valve games I've ever played, I'm pretty sure. So I'm glad to be getting into them. The top 3 are also bangers. Bangers. You'll see. Alright, so I was just talking about Valve. Well, I played Black Mesa. If you don't know what that is, you've probably heard of Half-Life. It is a remake of Half-Life that fans made. It looks so good. So the original Half-Life was like... It was like when Mario 64 came out. So it reminds me of like Mario 64 graphics. These people made it look like modern day graphics. It looks so good. Like, it is insane. I don't know if I could have gotten through the original after seeing this. But Valve actually approved it and now sells it under them. So they made it official. Which seems really weird for a company to do. You know, your fans, like, take your game and make it, like, way better. And instead of shutting it down, you're like, we can use this. Nintendo, take notes. Anyway, super fun game. And super, it took me like 25 hours to beat. Like, so you know in games, I've wondered this before. You play one guy and you take up like thousands of guys and you're like, does this really make sense? You know? The same thing happens in this game, but it's like part of it. Like, it's like, everyone recognizes, like, you're ridiculous. You're insane. You're this insane guy. So what happens in this game, like, you work for a facility and there's like an experiment going on and something goes wrong. You're part of the process, and like aliens get spread out everywhere, and like it's such a mesmerizing thing. Like it's so good. I don't usually like shooters of any sort, but I loved this one. It's so good. Like I don't like Halo. You know, I don't like anything like that. But this one captivated me. It's so fun, and I don't know why. Like, it's not just a shooter either. Like, it's also adventure and cool stuff. You know, it's all that stuff. I think that's what characterizes Valve, makes them so good. You know? Alright, guys, I gotta be honest about something. Some things on this list could be interchanged. Like Mario Sunshine and Deltarune, those could have been interchanged. Portal 2 and Psychonauts, those could have been interchanged. And I must admit, number 2 and number 1 could be interchanged. Yes, I'm telling you that the number 1 game on my list on a different day might not be the number 1 game on my list, but the number 2 game on my list. But let's just talk about what, at this time, in my mind, is number 2. Psychonauts 2. I am in love with this game. This game is incredible. So Psychonauts 1 was already good, a great 3D platform. This one came out this year. That's partly the reason, mostly the reason, that I played Psychonauts 1 and the VR game in advance before it came out. Just, let me explain this game. So, I told you, like, the graphics were weird in the original, and, like, it's hard to explain. This one, it has that sort of feel. It's that good graphics, but it looks good. Like, they took those weird, like, the way they animate the characters is just weird. They took that weirdness, but made it good. Okay, that sounds so weird to say, but it looks good. I'll just say that. I don't know how to describe it, but they did that. It's so fun. Like, it's as fun as the original. Way funner. There's more collectibles, and I'm in the process of 100%ing it. I've gotten everything in every brain. There's, like, side quests you can do, and I haven't done all those. I'm gonna do them. The platforming is so good. There's cooler power-ups. The story is epic. Like, should have won Best Narrative at the Game Awards. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which I've actually been playing in 2022, and it's amazing. So maybe I'm wrong on that one. Guardians of the Galaxy. But we're not talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. We're talking about Psychonauts 2. So I don't even know what to say. It's so good. There's so much you can do. Like, even if you beat the game, there is so much more you can do. You can go back and do so much. There's so many collectibles. Makes it so much better. It's a great game. That's all I can say. Like, it could potentially be my game of the year, and I can't even express how good it is. Okay? Like, I'm not very good at saying how much I like the game, other than I can like it. Like, play this game, but probably play the original first. Alright, guys. You've been waiting here long enough. You're here for the number 1 game of my 2021. Oh my gosh. So let me just start with some backstory here. So this was a game I'd heard about. I'd heard it was good. I watched trailers for it, and it didn't look that good to me. I was like, this is some people's, like, one of their favorite games. Like, what even is this? Like, it's not even a game you can really beat. Like, you can sort of beat it in ways, but it's not meant to be a beaten game. It's meant to be, like, a simulator game. This is not the sort of game you would expect me. It is not like any other game on this list. So the number 1 game of my 2022 is Stardew Valley. Now, I was saying how I watched the trailers, and I just like a farming game? Why would I be interested in that? Like, why do so many people like it? It's farming. Well, I put it on my Steam wish list, and my cousin, who I've been in before, not Mr. Piney, but the gaming kid, Ethan, he's in some Minecraft and Among Us videos. He bought it for me because he saw that, and he apparently loved the game and wanted me to play with him. I just could not put it down. Like, I was playing with him so much, and I eventually made my own solo world. I was playing by myself when he was on, and when he was on, I was playing with him. Oh my gosh. Like, I beat the community center on my account, and I'll admit, once I was getting close to beating the community center, it was getting a little more boring, because, like, it felt like the same thing. But this game has so much to it. Like, you wouldn't believe it. This is made by one guy. Like, Undertale seemed impressive by one guy. This is a whole nother level. Okay? Like, Toby Fox had a tiny bit of help. This guy had nothing. As far as I know, like, as far as I've seen, it was just Eric Barone. Like, oh my gosh. It is incredible. Like, it even looks good. Like, it's pixel graphics, but it's, like, super good pixel graphics. Like, better than Undertale, for sure. Oh, man. I just can't say enough about it. There's so much to this game. Like, I finished the community center. I'm, like, 20% done with the game from what Ethan's told me. Like, there is so much more I can do. I'm probably going to get back into it eventually. Right now I'm taking a bit of break because, I'll admit, I was addicted. Like, bad. I've been playing with him still, but I haven't really been doing my solo world. And we haven't been playing as much. We've been playing other stuff too. But, oh man, it's just such a good game. I'm so happy he bought it for me. Thank you, Ethan, if you're watching this. Thank you for buying this game. I'm so happy I was able to play this and experience it. Like, it just amazed me. Like, there are times when I think a game is good. I'm like, oh wow, this is a good game. But there's not many times when I play a game and I'm like, this is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. The last time that happened was Undertale 2 years ago. And this has captivated that again. That sweet, sweet sensation of it's good, but it's also new good. Like, you know? Like, I love Psychonauts 2. I've played a billion 3D platformers, though. This is, like, a new thing for me. So was Undertale. It's just, it's such a cool feeling when you play something brand new and it's so good. And that's why it's the number one game of my 2022, at least at this minute of the day. Oh man, I've even been like learning the piano for this song. And for Halloween I got a Raz costume. Raz is the main character of Psychonauts. Oh yeah guys, I love gaming. I'm so happy I can make this list for you guys. 2022. To a good one. To good gaming. Alright? Let's have a good gaming year. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And I'm sorry this took so long. I'm really sorry. This really should have happened sooner. I procrastinated. Bye!